Well, hey, welcome back to my little gardening show. It is Memorial Day weekend, and thus we're headed out to the garden. You guys excited? It's kind of hot. Well, how hot do you think it is?
80.
Yeah, it's probably like 80.
At least 80, isn't it? It's kind of humid. Got some Gatorade. Probably not the best thing for me to be drinking, but it's all right. So the mission. What is the mission, kids?
Tomatoes.
That's right. We're gonna plant some tomatoes. We're gonna plant some peppers, maybe. What else do we have? Cucumbers.
Yeah.
You forgot that.
No, we've got some near Grandpa's. So anyway, we got a lot to do. I think we can get it done in 2 hours. What do you think? Yes, no, maybe?
Maybe.
2.5.
Maybe we'll quit after 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll see. Grandpa's out of town, so my sister's at the house. They've been outside. We may show you her greenhouse. It's about 3/4 of the way done. You got the little dog there. Chum. Whoa, you see that? I think he's going fast. Alright, so we will be back when we get to the garden. Alright, so we're here. You ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's do this.
I'm ready.
Alright, so we got the picnic table where we're going to be bringing tomatoes on. We need to cultivate this area. So I think the first thing we're going to do is get our weed barrier on here. And yeah, we're going to do localized. We're not going to till up the whole thing. We're going to dig holes where we want stuff.
That might be better.
So this is the stuff we used last year, and it worked pretty good. Just using what we have. This stuff is left over from last year, so we're gonna go ahead and use it again. Get the kids moving tomatoes. We'll get this laid down first before we get started. All right, change of plan. We aren't gonna waste our time with that weed fabric. It's too thin. So what we're doing, I got the girls kind of marking the holes, and I'm coming back through with a shovel and digging these out. We're not running the tiller through here because I don't want to disturb all the soil, but we're digging out our holes. It's doing pretty good. Try to keep it close to the trellis if you can. Somewhat close. Alright, so while they're digging holes, I got Sis here trimming up tomatoes. Careful with the stems, child. She's taking off the
Let me just take this one off. It's got like...
You can take one more off, sure. Trimming them up because we're going to plant them deep, and then these little follicles there will morph into roots. She's getting all these ready for me. Good job, child. Bud, meanwhile, is hassling around. He's just kind of waiting, biding his time until we're ready to plant. Good job, Bud. Alright, so we're still waiting on Olivia to finish up the pruning of the tomatoes. Come on, child. In the meantime, we put down our mint lighter mix. Technically, it's supposed to be a little pre-plant of like boron, garden lime, I think maybe Epsom salt. I went in and just used, we got the garden lime. We put a little bit. Don't, honey. We put a little bit in each hole. And then we followed that up with about a teaspoon of the mint lighter mineral mix. That's basically the triple 15 nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and then the mineral packet that's mixed. It's like 25 pounds of fertilizer that's mixed with the little packet, and then technically you're supposed to mix your Epsom salt with that. Now, I didn't mix the Epsom salt because it'll turn it like real watery and stuff like that. So what we did instead was did the Epsom salt on the fly and just did a little pinch in each hole. Again, it's a very forgiving method. I mean, the more precise you are, the better. But I've been kind of eyeballing everything for the last couple years, and we've had really good results. So plants have everything they need. So we got all our holes prepped. Once the tomatoes are prepped, we're going to start planting them. We just need to figure out where we want to put our varieties this year. Honey, you need to put those scissors down. All right, bud, come on. Division of labor, yes. To the girls on the trellises, planting tomatoes. I had Sis trim them all up. Samuel's kind of putting them in the holes here, getting them all prepped. And then we're going to come back behind and help plant so we can get this done. Actually, let's do 3 of the Kellogg's breakfast, bud. Come here. Yeah.
Oh, mommy's favorite.
That's mommy's favorite right down there.
Mommy's favorite.
Just grab 3 strong ones. That one on the end looks real strong.
This one?
Yep.
All right, what do you want me to do with the
I want you to go down the row and ask the girls what they're planning where. Oh, actually, yeah. So put north, south, east, west. So north is over here, south is over here.
east is over here and west is over here?
No, west is over here.
No, because that's in the west.
Okay, so we gotta flip that around. West is over here. Yep.
Okay.
So once you can see what Ruthie's doing first, maybe put Ruthie, Emma, so we don't forget. We're gonna label these because if we don't label them, we're gonna kind of forget and have to rely on, you know, just to harvest like what things look like. Let's see. All right, so I got the kids consolidating the rest of the tomatoes. I had 2 kids planting the ones. We got them all teed up and ready to go. The next step is I need to get our baler's twine. I'm going to go ahead and string these up while everything's there. That way if we get a big windstorm, you know, they're not going to get all knocked over. Hopefully they won't get so wind whipped it, you know, kills them or anything like that. But I'm going to get them strung up while we have everything going here. Now I forget, this is really high like strength baling twine. I need to get a little bit thicker though. I didn't really have problems with it choking the plants per se, but it does need to be just a little thicker. This has got the UV coating too, so it should be able to handle the elements. I didn't have any bust on me last season. All right, so we're back. Let's pan down here and show them what we've done. Stop, honey. We got the tomatoes planted. I got my sister Sharon, her boyfriend Kevin. We've got the other girls here, and you're filming. So anyway, what we're doing is stringing these up so that if winds come through, they're not going to snap the stalks. Give them a little more support. So what we're using is, I learned this from Tom over at Frugal Prepper. He's got a pretty good channel on gardening and auto repair and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, it's a mooring hitch knot. So what we did, I had division of labor. Some of you guys are cutting lengths of twine about 6 foot long. We're not tying, so let's pan in right here, Ruth. So the mooring hitch knot, you got your working end, you got this end. This is a really good knot in the garden. We're putting it on the around this so this can't slide left or right, but what I'm gonna do is just fold this on itself and create a loop. And I'm gonna pull this through, and then I'm gonna shove the shorter end, the working end that I've got here, through here, and then pull it down on itself. And there you have it. Now watch this. So this is a mooring hitch knot. What I like about it is you can undo it, and then so basically I can, as these grow, I can let them down to rewrap them. I'm probably not going to do that because we get so many tomatoes, but really this is just to make sure, because it's so windy out here, that we don't lose plants to the wind. It's going to help them grow. And then the game plan, once they make their way up the string, we'll take a rope or something. We're going to try to tie them against kind of like a Florida weave deal like we did last year. We'll take a couple thick ropes and tie them up into the trellis and let them grow up. We get about 6 foot, and that's about it. We're not going to try to grow them any taller. We're just going to let them go. So we're trying to get this done, guys. You can see up there, there's cloud. There's a little storm tracking, I guess, northeast, but it's like we're like right on the edge of it, so I don't know if we're gonna get the rain or not. I don't think we are. Kevin doesn't think we are. Right?
I hope I think I'll buy that.
Yeah. So, all right. All right, so we got it done before the storm comes in. Well, we'll get something. Don't worry. We got 48 plants. Okay. 48 plants, 6 per trellis. I mean, they're looking really nice. We got everything strung up, so even if it gets pretty windy, they're more or less supported. We got leaf mold. Actually, that's one other step we could do real quick.
What?
See how these have got leaf mold around them?
Yeah.
If we put a little bit of leaves around that, so that if it rains,
Oh, that'd be a good idea. Okay.
I
I don't really want to do it, but I kind of have to.
oh shoot. I wouldn't take a bunch of leaves from it, but just a little clump of leaves and we'll throw it on the other side.
Over here. Right here. Along this area.
Yeah. You know, actually it might be okay. I probably wouldn't.
Dirt,
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
and they're tied up.
How many different varieties we got?
I forget. I feel like there might be
Like 10 or 12?
something like that.
We'll have to read the sheet later. But it went pretty quick. Again, we didn't mess with that landscape fabric. There's still a pretty good layer of leaf mold. And what I'd like to do is try to get some cardboard, get it laid down, just kind of lay it down around the plants, and then come back with like wood chips or something and just mulch this thing really good, so I don't have to worry about it the rest of the year. But for now, it's good. Everything's tied up, secured, fertilized. We're good to go on the tomatoes. I mean, that went, we got that done in a couple hours. I think 2 hours. We got out of here about 4. It's around 6:30 now, 2.5 hours to get the holes dug, get them everything prepped, get the tomatoes prepped, get them in the holes, actually plant them in the holes, cut the twine, get them tied up. Everything's tied up. I mean, we did really good. I'm happy about that. So we still got a lot more to plant. I've got all my peppers yet. We're gonna do that tomorrow though. And then we got our cucumbers, pumpkins, squash, watermelon. That's all gonna go outside the fence on the other side here. Those are crops that the bunny rabbits, for the most part, at least been in my experience, they're gonna leave them alone because they're prickly. They don't like the texture of them. It's just not edible like the other plants in the garden, like the brassicas. Speaking of which, we got a lot of other stuff coming up. Green beans, I'm probably gonna have to replant those again though. They're a little slow coming up. I think some of the seed got washed out. Got some radishes. But everything here is looking real good. We collected some grass clippings. This hasn't been Dad hasn't been treating his lawn as far as I know, so he collected some clippings and threw them in the rows. But Swiss chard, kale, got some cabbages in here, some kohlrabi that's growing. We got Swiss chard on the end, a couple different varieties. We've got our onions coming up. They're doing really good. They've really taken root. They're starting to put out multiple leaves, which is good. The more leaves they have, the more layers the onion's going to have, the bigger the onion's going to be. And then we've got our seed potatoes are starting to come up. So that's encouraging. We got 5 rows of potatoes. And then we got a nice row of lettuce, different varieties here. Some butter crunch there on the end. We planted this like loose leaf, just threw the seed in there. There's a lot there. It should bush out pretty good. We'll be able to get a couple cuttings over the summer on that. I'll go down and show you the turnip seed here real quick and the rhubarb, and then I think we're gonna call it a day. So a couple months ago, about a month and a half ago, all this was flowered out yellow. Well, it's all gone to seed. I mean, there is a ton of radish or turnip seed here. and everything, all these pods. My dad likes turnips. Oh, a little baby bird. You see that? Little baby bird's down there, hopping around. So that looks like a baby robin. Anyway, we'll have a lot there to harvest once these start to dry out a little bit. Before they start dropping seed, we want to cut these out, get them out of here. And then Dad can plant turnips later. But here's our rhubarb. We're actually going to get some rhubarb this year. I'm excited about that. It's our Ukrainian rhubarb. We cut most of the seed stalks out. I had my daughter cut them out. It's looking real healthy for the most part. There's a little yellow in there, but we're gonna call it a night. We'll try to get back out here tomorrow to do the peppers and the cucumbers, the melons and stuff like that, squash, and then we'll pretty much have the garden in for the season and just be fertilizing it, watering it, weeding it, and hopefully harvesting. So I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Bye. Chad, what are you doing? That's right, we're planting peppers. Got the kids out here helping me again. The boy's in the house going to the bathroom. He'll be down in a bit, but trying to get the garden in. What I opted to do here, we did a double row. I dug some holes, so we'll have peppers down through here, and then we got our hot peppers in the corner over here. What I need to do now is go around and mark what is where, and then maybe put it on a piece of paper somewhere so that as things start to grow, we kind of know where things are. So I'm going to do that here in a bit, but trying to get the peppers done, and then all we got left then is the cucumber, squash, and all that good stuff. Watermelon, which we'll probably do another day, maybe later today, I don't know. We'll see how the day goes. We got a little cookout we're going to be going to here in a bit. Well, let me show you what we got going on here real quick. So I dug the holes out. We put the fertilizer in there again, just a little bit of garden lime, enough to dust the hole. About a tablespoon worth of the Mittleider mineral mix, and then a dash of Epsom salt, where I'm keeping those separate so it doesn't become a slushy mess. Getting that going, and the girls are coming back by. We're just putting the plants in, filling the holes with the dirt. These containers worked out really well. Hopefully I'll be able to use them another season or two. What you need, honey? You need to take a little break? You're thinking about it, aren't you? Yeah, I tell you one thing, doing this planting and stuff, you can kind of tell which kids need a little bit of an attitude adjustment. My son's not, for whatever reason, into it. The girls are
Moderately diligent.
yes, moderately diligent. They're maybe this isn't exactly what they want to do, but out of love for me, they're helping me out, so I appreciate that.
Okay, so we've got 4 jalapenos.
4 jalapeno. What's after jalapeno?
We've got 2 cayennes,
2 cayenne, a red Thai,
red Thai.
Carolina Reaper, and the GMO pepper.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, so we got 3 red Marconi. We got sweet chocolate. This is a sweet chocolate.
Oh, these are sweet peppers.
2 more sweet chocolate here.
This is a Corno di Toro.
Corno di Toro, that's probably Corno di Toro. That's a Corno di Toro. All right, so we are done planting the peppers, sweet and hot peppers, and our eggplants. Let me show you the end result here. So we got everything staked up. And what we're going to come back and do is get some twisty ties. They're kind of pliable. We'll go around and fasten the peppers to the stakes, because their stems are still pretty tender, and with the straight line winds and stuff, they can get kind of wind whipped. I'll get the stakes positioned where they're kind of sitting behind the plant at the angle at which the wind tends to come from the west. So it should work out pretty well. Hot peppers the same way. You ready to get going? Yeah, they're ready to get going. Alright, so I guess that's it for now. Till next time, happy gardening. Bye. Well, hey, good evening. Welcome back to my little gardening show. This is kind of the third day of intensive planting. We're trying to finish up the garden here. So tonight we're going to try to get our cucumbers, watermelon, and squash in the ground. And that'd pretty much be our planting. And then I'm leaving a pretty big square for my sister to do pumpkins in. So let me show you what we got here. So here's our crookneck squash. We've got 6 plants here. We've got some of the ancient watermelon. It's going pretty good. This one's really taken off, though it doesn't look like, I don't think that's an ancient watermelon because it doesn't match. The texture's different. That must be a squash or something, or a pickling cucumber. And then here's my cucumbers. Over here we got some more stuff. I think zucchini, a couple of zucchini plants, and then some bush cucumbers. We're gonna try to get those in the ground. I'll show you how we're going about it this year. So again, instead of like the wholesale tilling, got the kids weeding here, we're just digging holes with a shovel. And one thing I noticed was the ground is a lot more pliable. Like it was really easy to get the shovel down in there, so that's good. I think the leaf mulch has helped condition the soil a little bit. We got 6 holes. We're going to do 6 cucumber plants here. We're going to do a couple of zucchini squash in here, and then we're going to do probably all the ancient watermelons through here. Kind of orienting them west to east because the wind comes from like the southwest. That way they don't hopefully cross-pollinate. Sometimes you get some random thing like that. I've got it to where if they do cross, I have a greater chance of crossing this way, west to east than north south. But we'll see how it all works out. We got some holes to dig, child. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Well, we're trying to make it a little aesthetically pleasing by having 6 holes and then alternating and doing the squash in between, and then we'll alternate the other way with the watermelon to finish out this patch. The watermelon, we give them a little bit more space because they branch out quite a bit.
How should I help us now?
That's a good question. Why don't you grab that Styropo? You can start whacking some of these weeds here real quick. Good job, child. Good job. All right, so we got the holes dug, fertilizers in the holes. Ben's gonna grab some pickling cucumbers and take them to the girls. Just take 2. We'll give Sayla 2. No, 2. Listen. Listen, come on. Take those over there. You got a bad attitude tonight. Sayla, come here. Sayla. Just take these to the girls. You don't need those gloves. Good job, child. Alright, so this is working out great. 2 kids to take plants, 2 kids to plant. Alright, so that's 4. We'll do 6. So here's 5, 6. Good job.
We're doing all of them?
We're doing a lot of them. Weather's pretty good. We had some tornadoes come through Ohio yesterday evening, tore up a lot of stuff surrounding towns, cities by us, but we lucked out pretty good. Anyway, we had a lot of tornadoes come through. Didn't know how the garden would come through because there's a lot of lightning, a lot of wind and rain, just bad stuff. But everything looks pretty good. Let's pan over real quick.
The weather's been crazy. It's crazy long.
The tomatoes are, everything's looking green. Greens are looking green. All the peppers are still standing. Nothing got snipped off yet, so that's good.
Hopefully the birds don't get to them.
Hey, you want to check for potato beetles?
Yes!
Baby, why don't you go with him? You can... Well, actually, I'll have you stay here because there's going to be some more plants to give out to the sisters here real quick.
Because your hands will get dirty.
Alright, so they're doing a good job planting. I want to show you this. And it was thicker than this. I peeled some of this off, but this is the leaf mold. That's breaking down.
It looks really good.
As it breaks down, it's doing a compost-y deal, improving the structure of this clay. It's not so...
You get black dirt like this.
Yeah, there's some black stuff there. Now while the kids are over there planting and saving my back, I'm taking a look at our other crops here. We got our potatoes, they're coming up, but the Colorado potato beetle has found them as well. And let's see if I can find an example where they're laying eggs. I don't know if you can see that. I just smashed some eggs there. I've been trying to stay on top of them. We saw some yesterday on there. But once they get in here, I mean, they're a real nuisance, and they're really prolific, just like most insects. The adults have like a hard shell with like streaks, and then when they're in their various stages, they're soft shelled and they're kind of a rusty color red. We'll have to stay on top of that. Other thing we're going to stay on top of are the weeds. In the onion patch in particular, we got a lot of little grass that's starting to grow out, and that needs to be just picked out. Otherwise, they're going to rob nutrients from the onions, and the onions won't get as large as they normally would. As for the cabbage and Nebraskas and stuff, we haven't really seen much of the cabbage moth. And there's some broccoli. Interesting. I haven't really seen the cabbage moth so far. I'm sure they'll appear at some point. Alright, so everything's planted up. We're going to be sharing more food this year with not just our family, but at least one other. We're trying to maximize space here. 6 cucumbers, the pickling cucumbers here. We got a couple different squash. Most of these are crookneck yellow, and then we got, I think, a zucchini squash on one of the ends. And then we've got Art Combs Ancient Watermelon. We grew that for the first time last year from the Baker Creek catalog. We're trying it again, just to see how they do. They're really slow growing. I mean, these plants, wind's starting to pick up here, so I don't know how the sound's going to be on this video, but anyway, kind of small, but we got everything marked with pegs. I'm going to let them kind of sprawl out along with the cucumbers. The squash should grow straight up through that. And then again, this whole area is reserved for pumpkins. Bud, you ready to go? Yeah, we're going to get going here. We'll check on... You want to see if Olivia's done yet? Go ahead and check, bud. So anyway, we're gonna head back home. It's about 9 o'clock, 9:30 maybe. It's probably 9 o'clock. I think we've only been out here about an hour. Nice breeze now, so the mosquitoes aren't as prevalent. But everything's shaping up. It's just kind of amazing, you know. A month ago we didn't have hardly anything done, and we're able to do all this in really a couple weeks' time. pan over and show you everything just real quick. I don't know how much contrast. I need to get a better camera. I'm doing all these videos on like an iPhone. But you can see how a little green. We've got things spaced together a little bit more. We don't have like the dead space in the middle like we did last year. We've still got walkways, but they're a little tighter. So anyway, looking forward to another gardening season. It's just a real blessing to have this space available to us and to be able to do something like this with kids. You know, it's not like we got piles of money sitting around and all that. So this is kind of a nice little activity to just spend time with the kids and teach them things. Hopefully instill a little bit of a work ethic and be able to eat some of this stuff too. So I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Bye.
Before you came round, my heart would never beat much faster. Before you came round, I was ready to slow down.